When I first started marathon training, I thought getting better meant obsessing over everything: pace, mileage, recovery, speed session, Strava. And ironically, I ran my best times when I cared less. Earlier this year, I ran my B race of the year. It was to test where I'd be for when that big race at the end of the year, when I really wanted to hit my sub 3-hour goal, how realistic that would actually seem. And because it was my B race, I cared, but I didn't want to obsess over it. I didn't want to kill myself because it does take a lot of mental load and it takes a lot of sacrifice from everything else going on in life. So I trained hard, I did, but I wasn't obsessing over everything. If I wasn't feeling it, so be it. That's fine. I'm okay missing workouts. And I happened to run my best race I ever ran. I ran a 3:09 marathon, placing third in a Boston qualifying race. And taking everything that I've learned from my other marathons that I've ran and the practices that I put into that race, I've learned a few things. Because surprisingly, there were a bunch of unexpected things that actually made me a better marathon runner. So in today's video, here are 5 things that I stopped caring about that actually made me a better runner. And stay tuned for the 5th one, because this one was actually the hardest one for me to swallow and might just surprise you. Welcome to today's video. The first thing that I stopped caring about that made me a better runner was my pace on easy runs. It sounds super simple, but it's almost more training your ego rather than training your aerobic system if you keep competing with your past self on your easier runs. I used to check my watch every 30 seconds on these easy runs, seeing what pace I was at and being frustrated if some random day happened to be a slower mile than it should have been. But if you think every single run needs to be a certain pace, you're wrong. Easy runs should be easy. If you have a good day, it might be a little faster. If you have a bad day, it's gonna be slower. Easy runs aren't supposed to prove that you're fit. Easy runs are supposed to help you recover so then you can actually crush the sessions that really matter. And not to say easy runs don't matter, but you're not having to strain, you're not having to push yourself. It truly needs to be easy. And on my B race marathon earlier this year, I learned this because easy runs, I hardly wanted to run anyways, but I would just get out the door and be fine with whatever. Some other marathon preps, I was so strict on every pace and every single run that easy runs needed to be nailed, when the only way you actually nail an easy run is just by going out for a little jog. And that's what we're gonna go on today. We've got a nice and easy 5 miles. Everybody thinks to run a sub 3-hour marathon, it's 80-mile weeks for months, pushing yourself every single workout, when the reality is it's 2, maybe 3 tough sessions a week and then just cruising along, baby. The other thing too, when I first started out, everyone's like, easy run, easy run, easy run. I'm just like, okay, what the heck does that even mean? Like, zone 2, I've got a heart rate monitor that I'll use occasionally to track my heart rate, but what does easy mean? So if it's like, hey, last week I ran 6 miles at 9-minute pace or whatever it is, this week I'm gonna run 6 miles again, 9-minute pace, because it was easy before. And that's not actually the case. What the case is, and the truth is, easy pace is 1, conversational, so you can hold a conversation without running out of breath. Or 2, if you're not necessarily running with a buddy, easy pace is you feeling like you're holding back. You feeling like you're just going for a fast walk, just going for an afternoon trot. That is easy pace. And also, I just want to say, if anybody is being nitpicky and saying, oh, you're a little out of breath on that, try running with try running and filming yourself at the same time. Oh, where am I going? That will make you out of breath no matter what pace you're going at. And voila, lunch is served. I know that does not look very good, but it's just tuna and rice. But before I eat this lunch, I want to talk about the second thing that I've stopped caring about in my marathon workouts. But let me take you through a little story on how I learned this years ago, and then it took me until recently to learn it again. I, believe it or not, used to be a little bit chunky. not gonna lie. And then I started losing all this weight, and I started feeling really healthy and caring about what I actually ate and nutrition and diet. And then I took it to extremes, and I kept dieting because I wanted to see how far I could take it. And I looked shredded. I didn't feel great, but I looked super shredded. But it really hurt my perspective on food because I became all or nothing. I started fearing any real tasty food and going out with people to eat because I thought that one meal was going to ruin my diet and make me gain back that 100 pounds that I had lost. And I had to rebuild a healthy perspective on food and teach myself that one meal, one bad day, one cheat meal, even a cheat week isn't just all of a sudden gonna unravel weeks, months, years of the work you put in. And once I learned that with my diet, I rebuilt a healthy perspective on food. Similar with marathon training. I stopped worrying about missing a workout because a marathon prep and hitting that time that you're training for isn't built on one workout, just like you won't lose it on one workout. A marathon prep is months of many, many workouts that all add up to the outcome that you get. And life gets busy, life happens. You're not gonna be able to hit every single workout in the way that you wanted over the course of a marathon prep. And it used to really stress me out. But I learned that one marathon workout isn't gonna build it. So you don't get overexcited if you nail one speed session early in the prep. One missed workout isn't gonna ruin you. It is weeks and months of building up. And if you happen to miss a workout, don't care about it. You're gonna be fine. This morning we have a little bit of an oxymoron. And what I mean by that is we have an easy 12 miles. Never in my life did I think that those two words would go together. Easy and 12 miles. So this morning, all we care about is the distance and making sure it stays as easy as possible. Yeah, that was good. 12 miles, 850 pace, average heart rate 138. Nice, cool, calm, collected. Honestly, it is, sorry, I'm trying to figure out where to sit down. I guess I won't, I'll just stand here. But honestly, doing those runs right now are so easy. I finally took the medicine and started listening to Red Rising. On my runs lately, I've been listening to Red Rising, especially when they're nice, easy, calm. I can just get lost in the book and it makes the run so easy. I'm normally a nonfiction, like self-help, development. The book has to teach me something physical, but for the first time I've started reading some fantasy, and it's there's lessons to take out of it too, I tell myself. But boy, that book is entertaining, and there's like 8 of them, so I'm pumped. I found a book that I like, and there's more. That's my little gist. Man, 12 miles, that took a minute. Now, the third thing that I stopped caring about, which honestly to a non-runner sounds completely stupid, sounds very dumb. But the reality is, when you're in it, it is way easier to fall down the rabbit hole of comparing yourself to others and what they're doing. So I stopped caring what others are doing, because nowadays you have all these funnels of social media, and you even have a social media Strava that's based around running, and you can see everybody's workouts. You can see people's Instagram stories posting their race times, posting their big workouts, and it's so easy to compare somebody's highlight reel to your Tuesday. But I realized that comparison doesn't make you faster. You see all the social media of people posting 90-mile weeks, fast times, and it's easy to fall down the rabbit hole of I should be going harder and going bigger. It's so easy to get caught up on, and most of the time you are on different chapters of your journey. Somebody may have been doing this for years, and you've been doing this for months, and you're trying to relate to what they're doing. And so by comparing yourself to what other people are doing, you're robbing yourself of the joy. You're robbing yourself of those micro wins of setting a PR, on your weekly speed session or whatever it is, longest distance. So I stopped caring about what others are doing and just focused on myself. And it made me a happier and more consistent runner. And now the fourth thing that I stopped caring about that made me a better runner. I stopped trying to be optimal. And I know this is a big pill to swallow for a lot of people, especially me. I love a dialed in routine. I love removing all the variables possible that will help me achieve my goal. In college, I did not get lower than an A on any exam. I graduated top of my class with over a 4.0 GPA because I studied so hard, because I was so afraid of not studying a session enough that when tests came, I didn't want to be caught off guard. I wanted to make sure that I removed any chance of screwing up this test. And that's similar to how I used to feel with marathon training. I used to make sure my nutrition was dialed in, my sleep, my routine, my rest, my recovery, my REM cycles, whatever it is. I was trying to control so many variables and so many factors to try to perform it the best I can. And I realized that doing so wasn't actually helping because it started to stretch me so thin. I was worried about the supplements I was taking, what shoes I had, specific nutrition, if my marathon training plan was dialed in enough, and it would cause me to stress out and spiral on all the possibilities that could be right, and trying to research and trying to figure out what I thought I needed to do. And it would exhaust me because I tried to optimize everything, when in reality, keep it simple, stupid. The boring things are the things that actually moved the needle. Sleep, consistency, running, and repeat. Those are the only things that you really need to dial in. Everything else I've learned, you can just stop caring about it. And finally, before I get into the fifth thing that I stopped caring about, I wanted to shout out the PDF course that I've created that relates to a lot of this. It's about using fitness to make your life better, not necessarily overwhelm yourself and over optimize everything. It's to give you a more rounded, wholesome view on life. It's in the description below. Click the link. It'll ask for your email. It'll send it to your email box. It's free. Let me know what you think of it. I put a lot of work into it. And now the fifth thing that I've stopped caring about is having every single run feel great. Training, the deeper you get into it, starts to become more and more a part of your life. And it's easy to overanalyze every workout and what direction you're heading in. And it was such a hard thing for me to realize was that a bad run does not equal bad training. Bad runs are a part of good training. They're going to happen. And it's easy to beat yourself down and ruin other workouts later in the week when you're not performing at the level that you want. And the problem with beating yourself down that I've learned, and what I preach on this channel and is on that course that I just spoke to you about, is that this marathon training should not be your life. It is a workout at the end of the day, and people who take it way too seriously and get way too dialed in on it, they're missing out on a whole other side of life. Fitness is very important, but it ruining everything else is not the point of it. And having a bad workout and letting that affect you negatively outside of that workout the rest of the week, and it bleeds over to your work and it bleeds over to your relationships, one, defeats the point of fitness, because fitness is supposed to improve your life. And two, it's okay. Goldfish memory, next play. Bad workouts happen, move on to the next. Stop beating yourself down. Stop caring about having every workout be great. I'm gonna end the video here, guys. Thanks for watching. I just wanna leave you with this, is that running got easier when I stopped trying to control every single variable. And this actually bleeds over to the rest of life. A lot of us are held back because we care too much about the wrong things. And this actually bleeds over to the rest of life, which is all that I preach about. A lot of us aren't held back because we don't care enough. We're held back because we care too much about the wrong things. Keep that in mind. Focus on what's important. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next one.